this tiny nation has done a lot for the gospel. That's why this nation is great. God made Britain great because Britain made the gospel great. The British Empire spread far and wide because of the gospel. Because when you really want to look at it, what natural resources are in this country. So it's the gospel that made Britain great. Countless missionaries sent all over the world, preaching the gospel, bringing the good news of Jesus Christ to the world. That's what made this nation great. That's what made Britain great. Britain great. The gospel. Yeah. If you remove all these populace, right, deep inside, in the foundation of this nation is a Christian foundation. This nation was built on Christian principles. This nation was built on a Christian foundation. So that in itself ought to be appreciated. It ought to be appreciated. It's not because, special more than any other countries. No. It's only because they took the gospel and they ran with it. That's what made this nation great. It's not scientists. It's not economy. It's the gospel of Jesus Christ. That's what made Great Britain great. We can go back into history and we can prove that this nation was made great through the preaching of the gospel. And if you want, go and look the beginning of the decline of the British Empire and the beginning of the decline of the preaching of the gospel. They go together. The neglect of the gospel, the abandoning of the faith, that's when it started to decline. You see, you remember your wedding day, right? How happy you were on your wedding day? So happy. Best day ever, right? If your wife then kicks you out of your marital home and brings in another man, you're not going to be happy about that. No. You're not going to be happy about that. Look at the constitution of this country. It's a covenant between God and this nation. It's a marriage. When you get married, when you say your I do's, you're enjoying your marriage, and all of a sudden, your wife sends you out of the marital home. Sends you out. She wants to have boyfriends now. I mean, we see it all the time, right? Men being kicked out of the marital home because she fancies the next guy now. And you know what? We've heard the stories. People will lose their minds because of divorce. Hearts will be broken because of divorce. Some people are in prison today because of divorce, because the wife kicked them out. People will do crazy things when the missus sends them out the house, when you get shown the door, when they tell you sling your hook, when they tell you off you pop, like go, I don't want you anymore, I'm not in love with you anymore. You know? That's when you see a man losing his mind with rage. That's when you see a man descend into deeper levels of depression. Because the wife has kicked him out of the marital home. You know? So, this nation, right? And we can really visit history and we can bring out the documents that it's there. This nation had a marriage covenant with the Lord Jesus Christ. This nation. The coronation oath. The coronation oath. Marriage covenant. That one there. There's a marriage covenant. This nation is married to Jesus Christ. The foundations of this nation is a Christian foundation. So for this nation to turn its back on the gospel, to turn its back on her husband, how do you think the husband feels? The blessing that this nation has so much enjoyed was because of the gospel. Christian foundation. This is a Christian nation. It's the gospel. You know, it is a Christian nation at the core. The coronation oath. Yeah. It's the Christian nation. This wife is now kicking the husband out of the marital home. How do you think the man feels? How do you think the man feels? Other nations or other marriages looked up to this marriage. It was a fantastic marriage. This marriage was so fantastic. Every other couple emulated this marriage. Every other couple wanted their marriage to be like the marriage between Britain and the Lord Jesus Christ. Every other nation looked up to this nation. Other nations envied this nation. And then this wife decides she wants to get married to another while the husband is alive. There's no divorce documents. the husband has not agreed to a divorce, and you want to bring another man into the marital home? You want to bring another man into the marital home? Romans chapter 7 says, don't you know, brethren, for I speak to them that know the law, how that the law has dominion over a man as long as he is alive. For the woman which has an husband is bound by the law to her husband so long as he lives. But if the husband is dead, then she is loosed from the law of the husband. There it is. The reason why Britain is so great is because Britain made the gospel of Jesus Christ great. This is a Christian nation.